Okay, this video is to show some calculus students how you can use the editor feature in Microsoft and Desmos to show me that you can do some calculus and to get your answers to me quickly. That would give me the idea that you know what's going on with this crazy U substitution universe we have. All right. Now, what I'm going to do is just type in what we should do as a calculus student. Now, I don't really care about this graph right here, so I'm going to turn the graph off. Okay, so I've defined U. So now I'm going to say what du is. Du is equal to, and then I'm going to say du divided by dx is equal to, I guess that would be 18x squared. Okay, now, we know that 18 times 5 is 90. So at this point, we don't really have the du we need. We have more than a du we need. So we could do a couple different things. We could just divide by 5 and factor that out to the outside, and then we would have the integral if we're going to use the fancy features of this. The integral if we go to, I don't know, functions, and then we're going to go to miscellaneous, and I believe that's the integration symbol. Okay, we're going to have the integral 5 times 18x to the second power times the sine of 2 plus, not 2x, but 2 plus 6x cubed dx. Okay, now I don't care that it's not giving me a value there. It's showing me what's going on there. All right, so when we get finished with this thing, we can now say that we have, and I'm going to use that integral feature again. So I'm going to click on functions. We're going to say integral. We're going to say we have 5 sine of u, because we have now established our u, du, if you look right here, du is right here. Do you remember when we were doing integration, all you do is you move this over here, and if it's present in the problem, so maybe this is a step early. So let's do this step here. I'm going to copy and paste this thing, copy, and then I'm going to paste it, and then I'm going to move this term right here to the back so we can see it. There we go. Okay, now we know we have 5 times the integral sine u du. We're going to look over here for the rule. The rule says that we really have 5 times negative cosine of, I guess, x, so not x, but in this case we're going to say u. Okay, and I'm not worried about what the graph looks like. Who cares? The graph is the graph. And then there's a great debate about some people, they want to call this 5c. Since this is an indefinite integral, we're just going to call it c. Okay, now when we start talking about solving, for a specific, integral value, we can deal with that. But at this point, I'm ready to say this is negative 5 cosine of u. Well, what was u again? U was 2 plus 6x to the third power. Okay. And then that would be a way that we could do the math editor. And I'm not too worried about that crazy stuff that's going on in the background over there. I'm just trying to use this as a math editor. Okay, so I'm going to turn that off, hopefully. And then I'm going to put a plus c at the end, just because we need it. Now, I've gone through and I've demonstrated to the person that's going to grade this, or to look at this, me, that I know how to do the calculus stuff. Okay, now, please title this stuff when you turn it into me so I know who you are. So Hickman, problem 5, Okay, Paul's online notes, 5.3 homework. Okay, now I've saved it. I did all that calculus. Yeah, okay, there's a bunch of red arrows there. I don't care. If I wanted to check this value, I would definitely define it somewhere. And then I would make sure that if I went over here and I clicked on the, okay, it's in radians, so it's set up for calculus anyway. So if I wanted to check it, I would just use a fairly convenient value for me to check the work. So I don't know. Let's go ahead and do that with an integral value. I don't know what this thing looks like. We're going to say from 0 to 1. That's always a popular value. If I plug Z1 in there, it's going to be a pretty okay number. And so then we're going to say 90x raised to the second power. We're going to say plus or times sine of 2 plus 6x raised to the third power. And then at the end, we're going to put dx. And then what I would like to do is I'd like to see if this is actually legit. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to define that as a function. Remember, we can use the capital F to define the antiderivative. So I've got that. I don't care that that stuff in the background's going on. I'm going to turn it off. If we're going to use the fundamental theorem of calculus, which says that f of 1 minus f of 0 should be the same thing as the area under the curve between those values. Now, I mean, we can take the integral using that, and we can verify we did it right using a definite integral. So it looks like even though the coronavirus is around, that I got an actual value for that. I'm going to save it. Okay, I've logged in as my name. It's just a good idea that you have this account anyway. I'm going to go ahead and copy this as a link. Copy as a link. And now that I have that as a link, I can paste that link anywhere I want to, including on a Word document. So, like, say that I, wanted to put it on a Word document, I could do that. But I would really prefer that you put it like someplace like this. Like, you could have just plugged it in here, and then you would have had that link. So I'm going to put that link right there, because that should show up, and we should be able to use it as a live link to show you what happened there. So that should be a copy of the actual process of finding the answer of that example. Okay, so that's how you can use Desmos as a video editor if you don't want to write it on a piece of paper and take a picture and send it to me. Honestly, I think that's probably the easiest way. Some of you just need to realize that charging cord you get with your phone, you can plug that into your computer and use your gallery to just send stuff to me via your computer. Another way to do it is just to use your phone and your gallery and put your school email address on your phone, so you can easily put it on your school email address. And if you put it on your school email address, that's going to be like a JPEG, or I would just say, try your best to get it uploaded here. And if you're doing it on a computer, there should be very little reason you couldn't do it. I'm going to tell all of you, I didn't make it a real big secret that I use Symbolab to send you the answers to the last assignment. I'm giving you the answers to all of this, and this quarter is basically going to be mainly, did you practice the work I wanted you to practice, and then your grade really can't go down. So if you're going to cheat anybody, you're cheating yourself by just doing it on a math compiler or an integrator or something like that. I'm going to need to see the steps of the work, and if you want to waste your time and think that you're fooling anybody but yourself, go ahead, do it on Symbolab first, write it all down and send it to me. You're not going to fool me. I mean, I usually know who knows what's going on, especially when you use the steps that aren't natural to you. Okay? All right. Thank you for watching my video, and good luck on this assignment.